she was so much more than a songwriter. She always said that her main focus and her main identity was as a songwriter. But, to become an actress, to do the kind of philanthropy that she did, really expanded her influence. And she really wanted to be a star.
As we all sit back down, we're reflecting tonight on the life and career of Dolly Parton, who has died at the age of 80. Legend of country music, icon to so many. Donald Trump has ordered flags in the US to be flown at half-mast for a week. Let's speak now to Lydia Hamessley, Professor of Music at Hamilton College and author of Unlikely Angels, the Songs of Dolly Parton. Good evening to you, Lydia.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us on a sad day. And you must have many thoughts, reflections, memories of Dolly this evening.
Yes, I'm still trying to take it in. It seems really unbelievable. I didn't realize she was obviously as sick as she was. But I've been working on her, thinking about her music, writing about it for over 10, 15 years now. So it feels like I've lost a friend in a way. And I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way.
Yes, I think that's right. I think everyone felt very sort of close to her, or certainly felt like she'd been part of their whole lives, given how long her career was. You mentioned that, there wasn't although she did pull out of the residency she had for some treatment about a year ago, and there have been some delays. But she really was someone who worked right up until the end, really. She was indefatigable in that sense.
Oh, absolutely. She opened that rest stop on, I think it was I-40 in East Tennessee, was there doing the ribbon cutting just, what was that, maybe a month ago or so. A lot of people seemed to say at that time that, well, she's looking a little pale, or people are kind of holding on to her a little bit. And I actually didn't think that she looked ill at that time. So I don't know. I misread it, I guess. But yes, she did work right up to the very end. And that's not surprising, because she was just, as she said once, I think, I'm a workhorse that looks like a show horse. And so there you have it.
We have messages coming into the studio here. Keith says, "Hi, in my honest opinion, the best Dollyism was when a comment was made about her tiny feet and she answered, 'Nothing grows in the shade, honey.'" Very Dolly. She had an amazing turn of phrase, didn't she, and a quick wit.
Oh, she did. She did. She could really come up with it in the same way that she could come up with lyrics. She was just very much a verbal kind of person, very clever in that way.
What does she do for country music and its particularly its relevance to new audiences?
Well, I think she managed to cross a lot of generations in a way that some older artists maybe haven't done that. But some of that, I think, is because she didn't really leave country music, but she expanded out of country music because she did films and she was in the Hannah Montana series, that she did other things outside of country music that got her an audience and fans that might not have, appreciated her or been interested in her if she had only stayed with a country music singer identity. So I think her bigger idea of being an entertainer is what really kept her vital for so many people. She
had some amazing collaborations and duets as well. We'll know Islands in the Stream. Oh, there it is. What was her ability to... You talked about sort of younger generation. She had collaborations with Miley Cyrus, Sabrina Carpenter, and Beyonce. Was she a very versatile performer and sort of bringing, never leaving her roots of country music, but bringing it to and collaborating with other artists as well?
Oh, right. Yes. She said, I think it was in the interview that she gave for me, that she really likes all kinds of different styles and that she can sing different styles. She said that she enjoyed doing old-timey music the best, her kind of mountain music, but that she said, I think it was something like, but I like to go uptown every now and then. And so she would do that.
And obviously, we as mentioned in the sort of top of this, that flags are going to be flown at half-mast, Donald Trump has announced, for a week. So a real proper tribute. And obviously she's a global star, but what's been the reaction in the US, and what do you expect the reaction to be over the coming days?
Well, I'm currently in Germany, traveling, just on vacation. And so I feel a little odd that I'm not there in the U.S. kind of feeling it with everyone. And I haven't had time to look at media, but I've had lots and lots of texts from friends offering their condolences to me, which is sweet, and saying that they feel like the whole country is in mourning for her. She
wasn't just the music. Obviously, people have spoken tonight about her philanthropy, the work she did on books, and Dollyland. I mean, she had a whole theme park built around her. I mean, she was larger than a singer-songwriter. She had a sort of varied career of being actually quite a successful actress as well. So, is that just a little breadth of her talent that you reflect on now?
Yes, I mean she was so much more than a songwriter. She always said that her main focus and her main identity was as a songwriter, but to become an actress, to do the kind of philanthropy that she did, really expanded her influence. And she really wanted to be a star. In fact, she said at one point that as a country artist back in the 70s, she could be a country music star, but she said she wanted to be a superstar. She said a star shines, but a superstar is really radiant, and that she wanted to be radiant. And so when she expanded into pop music in that way, and then going into film and television, I think she was looking for that level of radiance.
And she was a campaigner. She certainly campaigned for the people of her community where she came from, perhaps those who were struggling a bit in America, but she never really got entangled fully in politics. Do you think that was quite healthy for her to have a sort of strong moral code but not get down and dirty in the actual proper party politics?
Right, yes. I think she was very savvy in that she knew she had a wide range of audiences and that she didn't want to alienate anyone. She said to someone once that she learned early on in her career to keep her mouth shut, about politics. But that didn't mean that she didn't do good work for people and to improve people's lives and community. Some of her earliest work was when really most people didn't know Dolly. In the early 70s, she started a scholarship fund for the local high school, and any kid that graduated got $500 or something, and started a buddy program so that people wouldn't drop out, and it made a real difference to the graduation rate. And like I said, this is back in the early 70s when she's doing it, and giving money to the high school band so they could have instruments and uniforms. She actually played in her high school band. She was a drummer. She played the snare drum.
Wow. Well, she's going to be hugely missed, and it's a great shock to the world, really. Lydia, thank you very much for joining us this evening and bringing your reflections and memories of Dolly Parton.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's Lydia Hamessley, author of Unlikely Angel, The Songs of Dolly Parton, reflecting on the death, sadly, of Dolly Parton, who's died at the age of 80.
Now by Kelly O'Brien, an artist who dedicates her work to Dolly Parton with what she calls The Dolly Show, a tribute to Dolly, which is endorsed by the Parton family. Good morning.
Good morning.
What was your immediate reaction, Kelly? Were you surprised?
Oh, yes, very surprised. We're currently in Italy, in Turin, and I walked out of the restaurant. My family, their faces were like ghosts, and they said, "Have you seen your social media? Have you seen your phone?" And I must have had, hundreds of messages from everybody all over the world. It's been a real shock, especially as I was in Nashville a month ago with her friends and family, and we knew she'd missed a couple of appointments, things at Dollywood, but nobody expected this.
And, we've been talking throughout the programme today about just what a phenomenal musician she was, but also businesswoman, philanthropist. She did so much that people may not realise. She funded vaccine trials during COVID, for example. She provided millions of books to children all around the world. She was a remarkable woman.
Yes, absolutely. She's given away over 300 million free books to children. She would be a billionaire, but she gives most of her money away. She employs her whole region down in Tennessee. Anybody that works at Dollywood, she will gift them, college funds so they can further their careers. I mean, she was an incredible human being.
What is your sort of, I mean, you obviously spend a lot of your time thinking about Dolly Parton. You've dedicated your work to her. What was it about her that really struck you? What is it about Dolly Parton that struck a chord?
She resonates in everybody. She's real. She's a real kind, big-hearted, amazing woman who's not only glamorous on the outside, she's glamorous on the inside. And I think now, more than ever, people really needed that. And everybody all around the world, whether you're, 2 years old or 100 years old, she's loved by everybody.
And Donald Trump has announced, the American president has announced that the flags will fly at half-mast for the next week in tribute. How should people pay tribute? What could they do to remember Dolly Parton?
Well, she's asking that in lieu of flowers, people donate to the Imagination Library. That was the charity that was very close to her heart because her dad couldn't read or write. So he was very, very proud of that. And I know that it meant a lot to her. So the Imagination Library, I think if people could donate to that would be something that she would absolutely love and adore.
Kelly O'Brien, award-winning performer behind The Dolly Show. Thank you very much for joining us.